Tech conglomerates are trying to steal your GPU. At least that's the theory that I have. I think a lot of interesting plays are currently going on in the data center GPU market. So of course there are two ways to make a GPU. There is a server GPU and a consumer GPU. They have completely different stats and they're made on completely different factory lines. But of course, server GPUs make a lot more money because these businesses have some cash to throw around. OpenAI isn't even profitable, but because of its VC funding, it has billions and billions of dollars to throw around. And if it says, I want a data center right now, it's good to make that, at least with the VC funds. And so I think a lot more companies. I mean, already we've seen the RAM shortage, the GPU storage, et cetera, et cetera. That's because these data centers keep making data centers for these AI companies, and the theory is that, well, if we're pushing, we have to push more and more into the data centers because that's where the real profit is. Consumers don't know what they want. They don't really want a GPU. They just want some way to play games or to render video or to do any other high leverage GPU task. So, what if we stop selling consumer GPUs and we instead have everything cloud based? So that's what the Xbox Game Pass is. That's what, Nvidia GeForce Now is. They're all attempts to say, okay, we're going to just turn gaming into Netflix, and we're going to eventually, we're going to do the same thing with, Blender and rendering, video rendering, everything like that. We're just going to say, hey, do the rendering off on our server, and then we'll just give you the final product afterwards. And so it'll no longer be a need for super, super high GPU performance computers. Now, is that going to actually happen? There's still a very, very good market for studio desktops and for gaming desktops, even with this shortage. So probably, I think it's an interesting subject. I definitely think we're going towards a more cloud subscription based future for a lot of this stuff, even if it doesn't completely get rid of consumer GPUs. I think they're going to start selling a lot less consumer GPUs because they want to basically rip and replace those useless consumer factory lines that have lower margins, and they want to put more data center ones in to feed in the data center, the AI companies who are paying for the data center stuff. So it'll be interesting to see what happens.